Annette Riddle.
And I'm Jennifer Riddle.
And right now we are in Portland, Oregon,
Yeah.
giving you a Great American Teach-In video. We're just gonna interview each other to get through some of these questions. So, Jennifer, why don't you tell us what your job is and what you do?
So right now I am serving with Americorp. So I just finished serving in Bozeman, Montana. And basically my work is seasonal. So I work part of the year in the field, and then the other part of the year, like right now during the winter especially, I get to be hanging out in Portland. It's kind of too cold to be doing my job right now. So this summer, I was working in Montana. Like I said, I was working with the Forest Service, where I was working in developed recreation. So most of my job included talking to the public, giving educational talks to recreators and families about how to interact with wildlife that they see and how to be respectful of the public lands that they're using, and that kind of stuff. A lot of my job was also maintenance-based, so sometimes I had to go to the recreational cabins, climb up on the roof sometimes, do some repairs. Sometimes I also would have to fall some trees around the area to protect against wildfires. This summer especially, wildfires were kind of a big part of my job. There was a really big fire on the forest that I was working on. So when that happened, a big part of my job then was just focused on getting the firefighters everything that they needed. So my role in that was to educate the public, to keep them away from the danger zones, to talk to them about what kind of dangers forest fires can bring and how to prevent that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's mostly what I was doing. But like I said, so, you know, I can kind of move around and travel a bit with my job. So I was in Montana, now I'm in Portland, and pretty soon I'll be heading back to Montana actually to try something different. So I'm not going to be working with the Forest Service. I'll get to try out working with some aquatic invasive species. So this position is really good for people that are just fresh out of college to kind of try out some different things and see what they want to do.
Sounds pretty cool. I am an attorney, and I don't get to move around with my job. I'm here in Portland all the time, but I'm very happy to have my sister here for the holidays. I specifically am a type of attorney that's called a public defender, which means that I get appointed to represent people who are accused of committing crimes, but who can't afford to hire an attorney on their own. My job is to basically make sure that they get the best legal defense that they can possibly get. So that means I'm looking through police reports, I'm looking at security footage or police officer body cam footage, and I'm looking at forensic evidence like DNA or fingerprints, and I'm looking for discrepancies, or basically times when the story that law enforcement is telling just doesn't add up. And I am also looking to see if there are any times when my client's constitutional rights have been violated. So like, for instance, sometimes a law enforcement officer might search a bag that they shouldn't have searched because they didn't have a warrant to search it. And if that happens, then it's my job to bring that to the judge's attention so that anything found in that bag gets thrown out. Some of my job is to have trials, but trials don't usually look like what you see on TV. So my trials are usually only about half a day or a day long. I don't have week-long trials, and I'm not working on murder cases. So most of the trials are for really minor charges. A lot of my job does happen in court, but probably about 25% of my job happens in the office. And the office part is a little more boring. It's a lot of research, and it's a lot of writing motions, which is basically just like an essay for the judge explaining some kind of legal issue. And I would say, though, that the most important part of my job is being compassionate. I already told you that all of my clients, the reason they're my client is because they couldn't afford to hire an attorney on their own. And that means that they don't have a lot of money. It means that a lot of my clients are unemployed. A lot of my clients are without a home. A lot of my clients have serious medical or mental health issues. Some of them are struggling with addiction. Some of them have families who have really given up on them and they don't have anybody to talk to, and they just need anybody who can listen to them, who's willing to be that ear for them. And so I am that for my clients, and I try to get them set up with social workers so that they can start to be repairing their lives, because a lot of them have issues that are a lot broader than just their criminal case, and their criminal case isn't really the most important thing going on for them. To do my job, you have to go to college and have a bachelor's degree. And then after that, you have to go to law school, and that takes 3 extra years of school. And it's not super easy, but if you like the material, which a lot of people in law school do, then it goes by pretty fast. Then at the end of that, you take a big test called the bar exam, and if you pass the bar exam, then you are allowed to be an attorney.
Yeah, for Americorp, most positions require you to have a bachelor's degree, but they'll be in different specific fields. So my Americorp experience, I've done conservation-based terms, so they require you to have 4-year degrees in like environmental science, which is what I have, or biology or geology or some other type of related science, but they require a 4-year degree.
Why don't you tell us some advice that you would give to someone who maybe is in middle school and who doesn't know what they want to be when they grow up?
I think that is totally regular. I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do in middle school. I also didn't know what I wanted to do in high school, or really through most of my college. I changed my major a lot of times. I know Annette did too. So yeah, I think you just gotta keep, trying to find what you're interested in, and then take time to focus on those things and explore those things a little bit more, and you'll figure it out. I'm right now doing seasonal work, and I'm having a lot of fun. I really enjoy my work, but who knows where I'm gonna end up on a more permanent basis. I really, I don't know yet. I know that I'm on the right track, and I studied what I was interested in, and that's just what's the most you can do.
I completely agree. I started college thinking that I wanted to be a psychologist, and then thinking that I wanted to work for the Red Cross, and then thinking that I wanted to be a social worker, and then finally went to law school. And I love my job now, but I am always open to the idea of changing things up. I don't think you ever need to be in a position where, well, now you just are done with finding your perfect job. Who knows what I'm going to be doing, 20 years from now. I love my job a lot. Maybe I'll still have this job, or maybe I'll be in Washington, D.C. writing legislation. You just never really know. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just keep your options open, keep exploring things like Jen said, and just always be open to changing your mind about what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. You want to tell us a good memory from anytime K to 12?
K to 12, I know that I'm pretty sure me and Annette have the same big memories from middle school and high school, and maybe you guys have these shared memories already, but we both did history fair with Mr. Dill, and so a lot of our middle school and high school years were just focusing on our projects, messaging Dill, and trying to coordinate something to present. And I know that both of us were kind of last minute about it, but sometimes that's part of the fun. And we just spent a lot of time in his classroom putting together our projects, practicing our lines, doing performances, and that kind of stuff. So really good times. And then
yeah, all of my best memories from middle and high school are also history fair related. I made some pretty cool exhibits. Maybe Mr. Dill has photos of them that he can share. One year, Mr. Dill made me be in a group with a kid that I really did not like, and who I still do not like, but he built us a pretty cool freezer that had a sliding door and fog, and
that's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. But we didn't make it to nationals. So you win some, you lose some. All right, any parting words?
I don't think so.
All right, good luck, happy holidays, goodbye.